Alabama head football coach Nick Saban and athletic director Greg Byrne both contracted the coronavirus, COVID-19, both received positive tests on today. And Coach Saban mentioned in his presser that a positive result from his test was revealed, and the PCR testing, that is the PCR testing, which is done by Alabama's medical staff, the medical team, they aggressively test the players, they aggressively test the coaches daily. That's that daily testing that Coach Saban has talked about throughout the season. So in taking the PCR test, Coach Saban positive for the coronavirus. Once his test was revealed at 1 p.m. today, he immediately got on Zoom, alerted the players, alerted the coaching staff of it, and went home to isolate himself. Now, he has not shown any symptoms for COVID. He is asymptomatic. According to his daughter, Kristen Saban Cetus, she put out a post on Twitter talking about, no symptoms. He's fine. He's good. She had the little strong emoji on the tweet and said that he has been actually, watching the practices. She was permitted to say that and talk about that. So Coach Saban not showing any signs, not showing any symptoms for COVID, but due to the PCR testing, it was revealed he received a positive test for the virus. So as of right now, he will be continuing the SEC protocol, which means he will be continuing taking those PCR tests, following up on those tests to see if he can get maybe a different result here pretty soon here. Now, he's continuing to also do some research on what type of ways can he still be involved in this weekend's game, because if you know Coach Saban, he's never missed a football game. He's always been on the field. He's always been coaching players throughout his entire career. He has never missed a game due to an illness. He has never missed a game definitely of this type of magnitude due to something. So he is researching at home, remote, trying to find a way to still be a part of this game on the field with these players. The biggest thing for Coach is he's surprised that he got a positive test, because this is the same Coach Saban that's always been pro-public health, pro-public safety. If you remember the video he put out over the summer where it featured, Saban, athletic trainer Jeff Allen, and Alabama's mascot Big Al. Saban comes through the facility and goes, "Hey, Big Al, you're supposed to be 6 feet away from me, and don't you supposed to be having your mask on? We practicing social distancing." So even over the summer, Coach Saban, pro-public health, pro-public safety, always having the mask, always taking those precautions, always doing the right things, and being an advocate more so to other people and trying to do the right thing. So to see that, he had the test to come up positive there, very surprising for him, very surprising to him. But once again, people, asymptomatic, has not shown any symptoms. He feels fine. He's been at home, still very active here and trying to make sure he's catching up on all the practices on Zoom. He's been in contact with team managers, trying to make sure that the players are practicing correctly. The energy is there, the focus is there, the intensity is there. He's had contact with the coaches just to make sure they're doing what they are supposed to do. According to Saban, in his absence right now, as he's in isolation, Steve Sarkisian, the offensive coordinator, has assumed duties. He has assumed the role of running the program. So the program right now, as Coach Saban is in isolation, is being run by offensive coordinator Steve Sarkisian, of whom is making sure everybody stays up to date, everybody's on their P's and Q's, everybody's showing the energy, showing the focus, showing the intensity, because there's still a game this week. Coach Saban is still preparing this team to face the Georgia Bulldogs this weekend at Bryant-Denny Stadium. 7 p.m. Central Time, CBS, we'll have the kickoff. But he's continuing to do the SEC protocol, still having the testing, the PCR testing done to really get himself, sort of situated. But within the press conference, Saban talked about how he got a chance to look at the players' practice, though he was not out there on the field. He talked about, I'm not out of the country. This will be my first time kind of not being on the field, but I'm still preparing. I'm still going to my meetings through Zoom. I'm still in constant communication with the coaching staff. I'm still in constant communication with the players. I'm still doing our point system type thing. So even with Saban being remote, as he mentioned, I'm not outside the country. I'm still doing everything possible to make sure and very sure our guys are prepared for this football game. And it's kind of interesting just seeing that with all of this happening to him, his main concern is two things. Number one, not spreading anything to immediate members of his family. He's always talked about his personal bubble. He's been safe as far as the program, but he's always talked about that personal bubble. Once you leave the facility, once you leave the University of Alabama, once you leave the program, what is your personal bubble like? How are you staying safe with your family? How are you staying safe with the people around you? So he has constantly preached having that personal bubble in line, and Saban trying to make sure that he does not spread anything toward his wife, Miss Terry, where she's concerned, where his grandchildren are concerned, where his children are concerned, and other members of the family are concerned. But that's one thing he's been most concerned about. But also he is concerned about the players. Even though this is happening with him, he wants to make sure he is giving his best effort to these young men and making sure they're still getting the proper coaching, even when he's not out there present with them, even with it's him on Zoom or him talking to a team manager or him talking to coaches or him speaking with different players. So he's still trying to make sure, hey, I might not be here at this present time, but you still need to be focused. You still need to be on your game. You still need to be on your effort. You still need to be on your assignment as a player, because this is still a big game for you. This is still a moment where you can create value for yourself, as he likes to say, especially for those that have an NFL draft stock. This is still an opportunity for you to create value for yourself, even for the young players that are trying to grow, trying to get better, trying to increase their knowledge, trying to increase their confidence in the way that they play on the field. So even with Saban getting this positive test, he is not letting that kind of sort of affect him from doing his job and making sure the players are prepared. Now, at the heart of Coach Saban, he still wants to be involved on game day. And this just shows the competitor that he is. And it just shows that Saban is not just about winning, though that is a part of being a coach, but he's more concerned about, I want to be there for my players. I want to be there for my boys. I want to be here for the young men that their parents trusted me. They trusted them in my care as the head coach. And I want to be out there just to make sure that, they're in the proper positions. They're making the proper reads. They're making the proper plays. They're hitting the proper assignments. They're hitting the right gaps. They're doing exactly what they need to do to be successful on the field. So coach is going to find every single which way and loophole to be, a part of this game, whether it's, him maybe on Zoom, FaceTiming to some degree. He'll research something. He'll find something, because I can't picture it. I know U.S. fans can't, but I certainly can't picture a scenario where Saban would be laid up in bed somewhere, or Saban would be just not, on that field, or not having his presence in some sort of way, form, device, capacity inside Bryant-Denny Stadium to be an encouragement, to be, a coach, to be a mentor, to be of some type of presence to let, those players know, guys, I'm right here. Guys, I'm right here. Guys, we can roll right here. So even with him, having the positive test. Of course, as I mentioned, it was made known today at 1 p.m. by the PCR testing. The Alabama medical staff, Coach Saban immediately alerted the coaching staff, immediately alerted the players on Zoom. He quickly went home. He's been working remote. He's been working in isolation. He got a chance to watch practice today on Zoom and observed what was going on the field with the players. He talked about the energy that the players gave, the response that the players have had. He even slightly chuckled there at the end, answering a question from yours truly at Touchdown Alabama magazine, just talking about, well, maybe this was a practice I shouldn't have been at because I'm seeing these guys really give an effort and that energy. So even with this situation, it's good to see Coach flash that smile, flash that excitement. He's not showing any symptoms, asymptomatic. This is just kind of a shock, a surprise to him, but he is researching. He is doing everything possible to figure out a way where he can still be a presence on that field, where he can still be a presence on that team this weekend, because he is still pushing and putting together a game plan for Alabama to take that field against Georgia this weekend, as the game's still in motion here for 7 p.m. Central Time. But that's just the news they're coming from Coach Saban, the news coming from the University of Alabama in regards to Saban and Athletic Director Greg Byrne testing positive for COVID-19. Our prayers from Touchdown Alabama magazine are out to both men and their families, most definitely. But we take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial, just getting started. When we return from the break, we get into your phone calls, your thoughts, your tweets, your chats, your ideas, your concerns right after this.
You're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith, brought to you by We Own the Fourth Quarter. Get your four-finger bling necklace today by visiting weownthefourthquarter.com. Throw them foes up. Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care, in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99, and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.